Hi, everyone, and welcome to lesson 3 of Ogham Divination. Can you believe it? Tomorrow is our last day. Hope you've been enjoying it so far. Before I go any further, I just want to say that I've actually been reading the reads that people have been pulling for themselves over the past few days and tagging me in, and everybody's doing incredibly well, and some people are actually doing it exceptionally well. So it's really amazing to be able to see, and I hope you continue because there's a lot of talent out there. So yesterday we looked at, starting to link views together, and not just with regards to Ohm alone as a standalone system, but also with regards, advice for other systems should you be wanting to learn them. In this lesson today, we're going to actually be extending our view again and really adding more. So we're going to be looking at integrating a 3 view read. Now, there's a few different ways in which you can approach reading 3 views. Again, it all depends upon the question. So, for example, you asking, show me my day to day, it's going to show you what is going to happen within your day. So it'll be, 3 views showing you occurrences within your day. But then if you're asking, an advice, then it would be literally be taken as do this, and do this, the steps. And if you're asking how, something will progress, because a lot of people want readings regarding works and finances or relationships, it's this, and this. So you're always building that up so you can actually see the way in which, dynamics influence and actually, move forward within your day or within your situation. Now, when it comes to actually linking the views, don't become triggered or worried in any way should anything, negative occur, uh, as in shown on those cards or views, because literally it's, something that forewarned is forearmed that way. So if you have a situation it's showing you, I actually had UAF showing for myself, and I've actually pre-recorded this lesson to actually mitigate the chances of any internet shortages or problems with streaming later on. As everyone who's been through me so far with this course, you'll know that actually every single day there has been something going wrong with tech. So I'm trying to actually mitigate that today because, again, it showed that something was going to be occurring. So it just allows you, if you see a negative card or a negative view, to actually take action to try and counter that, or actually, diminish the impact it will have, so to speak, especially if it's regards with conflicts with others and things like that. Then it's a day where you really need to bite your tongue, unless it's one where you're actually going for it. And then maybe you think, I need to bite my tongue. Anyway, I'm going to show you how I personally do it. And I'm just shuffling through my cards now. And I'll ask the question, show me the way to approach the edits for my book. So show me the ways in which to approach the edits in my book. So firstly, I have the first card I pulled was Streif. Streif. Now, this view is all about taking back your own power, so to speak. So actually, owning your own power, where you think that you've got restrictions or freedom has been limited in some way. You really have got that element of choice back to yourself once you see that it's happening. So it's about actually understanding and the changes that are needing to be made, or ones that should be being made. And actually really, although don't feel like I'm being coerced into it, but rather just be embracing of that. That's that first one. So be aware that actually I'm going to get some things back, which maybe want to take me on a slightly different avenue, for example. And then knowing that then allows me to be able to then say the element of really how I want to do that. it could also as well be to do with the fact that I'll be doing, other courses. I've got other courses written in the times in which I've got to do this editing as well. So it could show that there's constraints within myself in the time that I'm actually able to apply to it. Yeah, it'll come second. So that's kind of like balancing, me working with others. So that's about really keeping in touch and working in harmony with, what the publishers actually want and what I'm envisaging and what I'm doing, and actually working together and following that same path, parallel to one another. So know that while I'm doing my thing, they're doing theirs as well, and it's actually going to be working together in that sense. And finally, win. Now, win's all about inwardness, and it's about actually having deep reflection. So actually, spend some time actually really reflecting and looking upon, an understanding of cause and effects with things. So it's really same within that sense. When you're looking at what you actually wanting to achieve from what you're putting out, and see the ways in which it'll actually get looked at or accepted. Seeing the ways in which something is, what's me, what I'm in control of, and what's not me, and what I haven't got a choice in. So you can see that that's actually, a solid advice. What do I need to do? Show me how to do it. So spend some time reflecting, actually, see that it's not, don't look at it as something that's restrictive or anything like that. And really, kind of, I might need to rein in some control over my own self, especially when it comes to the rest of my workloads as well. So if you were to be asking something different, for example, if you're wanting to, now I very rarely do this, if you're wanting to do a reading, for example, with regards to, what can I do to connect more to spirit or my spiritual path, how can I grow, or how, what are my next steps? So what are my next steps, for example, on a spiritual path? Then it's that rebirth, isn't it? So it's that looking back, it's that, acceptance. There's a peace felt, so it's coming to peace with things as cycles is ending, so understanding that the spiritual path has its cycles within it as well, and it gives you time to actually reflect upon how far you've actually came, but it's almost like a rebirth as well, so something will be rejuvenating in that way from that. Very. And that's all about, the principles in which you stand upon, your integrity and your truth, and it's honouring your own truth as well. When you think about the spiritual journey, one of the biggest parts is kind of owning you for all you are, that light and that dark, and bringing yourself forward and being of service to others. Well, where do your principles lie in that? What is the truth? Who are you? And actually trying to shed that ego and become actually more than what you actually thought was possible, and embracing everything and everyone in that way of acceptance and being open. And finally, Kurt, and it's about having an appreciation with Kurt. It's about having an appreciation for everything. It's seeing things in proportion. So really, allowing you to actually see everything in proportion. So when you're talking about a spiritual path and you're starting with Nin, and you're looking at, evaluating that rebirth. So it's almost like it's kicking off that spiritual roller coaster's about to burst out again, and actual understanding, with Fedden, who you are, understanding who you are, what's your truth, honouring your truth as well, but looking at, the principles behind why, you're opening up, why you're having this kind of insight, why you're wanting to be more connected to you guys, understanding the big, the whys, the bigger principles, the bigger truths, the universal truths that's available. And we've called having an appreciation, having an appreciation of, the beauty in everything. So actually seeing things in proportion and being really, gratitude, I suppose, for being here on this earth, but also for being who you are and knowing who you are and learning more of, the world and yourself and your place within it from that, and actually having an appreciation for everything, everything, and not be looking at surface levels, but really taking your time to understand things in a deeper way. So you've seen a spiritual reading there, and you've seen your advice on how to approach something, and that is literally, how to link three fuse together. Now, if you have, your fuse, if you're practicing with that, again, I would ask questions that you already know the answers to. So I would ask questions about something that has occurred that you know that there's been an outcome from. One, because you're less triggered, and I know I keep saying that, but I really want everyone's confidence to be really high, in that they're actually seeing something that has been experienced. One, it's less triggering. Two, actually will really build your confidence so much more quickly, because you're actually then, when it comes to, forecasting events, then you're going to be so much quicker at building those narratives and seeing those connections that's actually occurring, and your confidence isn't going to be dented because you might have think that you've picked something up wrong. You're actually looking at something that has occurred in order to really gain insight into the system of Ogham and the way that it actually communicates with you and what it actually delivers as a message that way. So you're not going to be, you're giving yourself the best chance to actually get to grips with the meanings without having any kind of struggles in to see, well, what will this be? Because this has been that. And the readings yesterday in particular were absolutely outstanding. And I want to say well done to everybody again. In tomorrow is our final lesson, and I'm going to be going through doing mini casts. Now, casting is one of my main loves. I think it is a beautiful way to read a system, and you're going to be seeing some tips and techniques in order to really get the most out of your casting, if you're something that you already do. But if you're new to casting in itself, then you're going to be, picking up tips and ideas along the way, so that you can actually be confident in how to actually approach a cast in itself. But we won't be doing big ones because I don't want anybody being overwhelmed. That being said, have a great day, everyone, and I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow evening. Bye now.